We're calling this martial arts for dummies. I'm not trying to insult anyone, but even black belts for dummies. Because let's face it, there's nothing that another individual can do to make you truly understand the evolution of mind, body, and spirit, and it all becoming one. There's nothing that anyone can do to get you to understand how all the pieces come together. Life is a journey of discovery, a discovery of realizing that it's 306 degrees of knowledge. It all intertwines. It all comes back to the beginning. Kicks are kicks, punch a punch, block's a block. And we just come up on a foundation, the foundation that allows us, one, first to be trapped and be molded by such a legacy, such a curriculum, such a foundation, that the only way to continue to grow is that that foundation frees you and allows you to now go out on your own. But you go out on your own on a foundation of personal discovery, personal transformation. Let's just, we got to understand two things. Putting together the business of martial arts and allowing you to achieve black belt or even the titles of master, those things are kind of like discovered. What we trying to do is, it's not a bad thing, but in a way it is a bad thing. When you commercialize a expression of a art, you lose the depth of it. And it's not so much that you created it to lose the true meaning and purpose for why you wanted to give this love away. And you wanted to give this love away because you wanted to do it for the rest of your life. You wanted to take care of your family, empower your community, and just really give people tools to just find themselves, to be able to know when that moment comes, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. The teacher do appear, but the teacher appears because of internal connection to self, internal discovery to self. But that journey is not just in front of someone else. That journey is not in the classroom. That journey is not with your instructor, and that journey is not without your instructor. That journey is based upon a relationship, a fellowship of martial artists or artists, let's say artists, people that are on that continuous quest of self-discovery. And I think what then happened over the years is that people have achieved black belts and became world champions, and they got so locked into the physical components of martial arts that they miss, as Bruce Lee say, all that heavenly glory, which is the mental and the spiritual. And you sit back, and when people say, hey, I quit, I done learned all what you can teach me. Oh my God, you done learned all what I can teach you. That's funny. Because in all my years of martial arts and going to China and doing all these things, I realize every time I think I know, I don't know. It's a continuous quest of discovery and new evolutions to be able to find that peace, this journey of peace. And yesterday as a student, because I am a student of life, I am a master white belt. Well, let's say no belt, you can say. I open up every day just trying to find, I'm finding me. It's a new discovery. I never want to be locked in thinking I know something, because the world is forever moving, flowing, and adapting. That's the whole purpose of the complete martial artist. A artist who is on a constant quest of personal discovery. And in order to truly understand the expression of art, that art has to tap in and change people. It has to connect to people. It has to empower people. And yesterday I had a message from great Mr. Champ Nichols, who was, saying something. And I kind of like got lost about it at first when he was saying, all what you have achieved in the martial arts is far beyond what you have achieved on the street. And at first I didn't get it, because I do understand that foundation is what has allowed me to have such an incredible journey and still with martial arts. And I'm on a constant quest of confusion, because I just started really tapping into those understandings of those things of my past and how they all correlate to my journey of today. And how do I use it in a manner to empower and help other people? Somebody called me complex. That's interesting. And I guess that's what it is. And then YMMA, Dr. Yang. I mean, if you know anything about Dr. Yang, guys, he wrote the book on Qigong. I mean, such an incredible honor. And I have to stop for a minute to realize that on this journey of life as a poor little kid in the projects, stealing books, stealing magazines, wishing that I had some direction, because all I had was a passion, a desire, a love for what I seen martial arts did for me, just from watching films and reading books and reading stories. And I mean, because that's why you see back here, come on, man, how could you, even when I read a book, I go back and read the book again, because I'm always getting something. It's like practicing your technique. Repetition, man. You keep on going. You never, there's angles to this, man. There's angles to life. You never will get that angle. And the sad thing about it, that's why I call it the complete martial artist for dummies. When you think you got it, you don't have it. And anybody around you that's trying to tell you that you do have it, you don't. These times of COVID-19 tells you that. Who would ever thought that you would be dealing with what we're dealing with today? But the truth of the matter is, this is what everyone has went through based upon the expansion of humanity. We all go through moments. It's telling you again that when you think you know, you don't know. But when you have a foundation to grow, you understand when things get tough, get tight, get challenging, when you get doubtful, when you begin to think that you have it, that's when it's time to let it go. When you think, and I know that sounds crazy, when you think your intellect got it, let it go. With the most intelligent and smart people on the planet, isn't this telling you something? That's the journey of martial arts that people forget, because they quit. Or they think they know. You will never know. You cannot put a price tag. The only price that you pay for the journey of martial arts is to pay for that time for me to help you at that moment to go inside and to know that it's that inner journey and that coach, that what we are, or mentor, leaders, trying to help you go inside to understand that all you need is from within, to understand that your story, your strength, your discoveries, they start from within. What you commit to for the harmonious balance from the inside out of mind, body, and spirit functioning like this fist, that's your quest. Can nobody give you that? That's timeless. That's priceless. The reason why you pay the dollars for the instructions that you get from a real person that understands that they are a martial artist on a continuous journey of self-discovery, and because they have grown to levels of understanding, realizing those levels of understanding is that, hey man, I don't understand. I'm learning. Fighting is moving and adapting. Combat is moving and adapting. Athleticism at the highest level is constant moving and adapting. We plan our work, and we try to work our plan, but it's never going to work that way. And yesterday when I was talking to Mr. David of YMMA, he was saying, Willie, maybe martial arts is going to go back to what it used to be, where you earned the right to be with the person that loved what they were doing through the expression of martial arts so much that they honored it and cherished it, and they shared it with someone else that understood that once you go on this journey, in order to keep it, you got to give it away. You got to carry on the legacy. You don't just grab and get and discover and enjoy and don't give back and don't protect the legacy. You don't travel the world and call yourself a martial artist, a complete martial artist, or a real black belt when you don't give back to the foundation that made it possible for you to be who you are today. You don't do that. You carry on that legacy. You protect that legacy because we understand the limitless possibilities of it. We understand the true wealth of the true essence of martial arts, the true essence, mind, body, and spirit. It is your duty. It is your responsibility to pass it on because you can only grow when you pass it on. To understand the evolution of coaching and teaching when you go to that level, you think you know, you don't realize you don't know until you have to get in front of a little kid who don't care anything about what you're talking about, not because they're ignorant, it's because they don't know. It's your duty as a martial artist to speak. That's what an art is. An art is to speak through a book, through a movie, through an interaction of a class, through a private class. Man, look behind me. That's a continuous journey. I take so much pride and joy in the discovery of learning. And when I run into a brick wall, I don't point fingers and blame and quit. I go deeper. I understand now what Champ Nichols was saying to me yesterday. I understand now what David was saying. I realize that the people's lives that I have come in contact with is at a higher level of understanding for me because it's about me passing it on. I can't make you good. I can't even yell at you and force you and try to demand or criticize you or judge you. I can't. All I can do is continue to go on this journey of self-discovery. Like this book here, The Autobiography of a Yogi. It's like Kung Fu on a journey. That's what we all are on. We're on a journey of life, man. I get a chance to be a part and be in the presence of great martial artists that wrote books. And I now write with them. I connect with them. What more could I ask for when the blessings to be in a position of a kid? Think about this, guys. These are the books that changed my life. See these books? If you don't have these books and if you don't study these books, how can you even proclaim to be a black belt? Forget what the new guy thinks he knows. Do he even understand the philosophical or the attributes or the concepts and the philosophies that connect what he's doing or she's doing right now to these historical great masters that made it possible for us all to benefit from martial arts today? Probably not. Because most of y'all look at this book, these books, this great book right here on sports karate, or this great book, or some of these other great books, Kung Fu, The Way of Life, Karate Do, My Life, Oyama's books, the Complete Martial Artist book. You know, my own students don't even realize that this is a modern day book of all the books that I have read. To put it all in one format so you can be able to understand the lessons behind the technique. It's not the kick or the punch, the flip or the trick. What happens when you no longer want to do that? People don't even understand that these three books go hand in hand. As a teacher, I needed to make sure the principles that you miss in the Complete Martial Artist were given to you in this book so you can use them based upon your daily reprieve of discovery. And then this book on bullying comes from the same book. If we keep on searching and grabbing and stretching out and don't stop for a minute to understand what's right there in your presence, you'll constantly be on a continuous journey of disappointments, despair, frustration, and blame because you'll keep on looking out and not in. Complete Martial Artists for Dummies. Meaning that sometimes we're too smart for, and I'm saying that for me, sometimes when I run into brick walls, that's because I think I know what I don't know. And it's not until I get out the way and be like water that I realize that because I don't know. As long as I recognize and I'm on this journey, I will never truly understand this journey because it always changes, living and adapting. I have to let go and stay open so I can enjoy this process of uncertainty.